What is it? Smart man. I could use somebody who can operate under the radar around here. Whoever our mole is, he's been slippery. Whenever one of the MPs gets too close, he changes his habits. You want my advice? Start by talking to people with a lot of eyes in the field. Careful with Contreras, though. He's not above suspicion. Keep me apprised of any... Well, I'll leave that to you. Well?
Hello.
You're back. Now, what kind of MP would I be if I didn't notice anything? I've had soldiers go AWOL, break in... Well, there's Anders. He's a ranger. That one's not suspicious. Colonel Shu sent him out. Now I think he feels guilty not having any way to check. I don't know him very well myself. I seem to remember that he was the man to call on if you needed someone to get in, and Colonel Shu would really be the Yeah. The man I'm more interested in is Corporal White. White had a lot of promise. Wanted to be a ranger as bad as anyone I've seen. But he also had some extra career. Word around the base is he'd been going regularly to visit a hooker named Dazzle at Gamora. That's a casino. His belongings are up in the barracks in the concourse building. First bunk on your left. I haven't had a chance to look through his things yet. Maybe break-in isn't the right word. We didn't find signs of forced entry, but I've had reports of... It's probably just a meeting spot for a steamy military base love affair. But it bothers me that they didn't break in. It means they have an access code. Sure, if you want to investigate. It's not like there's anything to steal up there. If you can find out any more, I'd be interested to hear it. There's something about this I really don't like. And if I weren't tied up here, I'd be... Not the kind of things you like to see go missing. No witnesses yet. I've got my money on Sergeant Contreras, but he's too slick to let anyone catch him doing it. We've searched his possessions a dozen times. Nothing. Good. The more guns you can recover, the more I'll be able to use to shoot Contreras for being an...
Lupa, this is Fruit Serious Light. What are you doing here? You don't have clearance. I don't know what you mean. Over here! Afternoon patrol enters Fiend territory at 1300. Have them mind that stretch.
10-4, Picus. Fiends will be alerted.
Roger, Lupa.
What's the status of your primary mission, Picus?
Charges are set. Detonation will occur as the train leaves the station. Over.
How long?
Couple of minutes. Over.
We're all impressed with the work you've done for us. It's a key to a little hideaway south of here. We've used it as a place for rangers. No? What happened? Curtis? He's been in the NCR long before our conflict with the Legion. I hope you're mistaken, but somehow I don't think so. It'd explain a lot. You've done everything that was asked of you. You have my personal thanks for this. I'll have Curtis taken into custody. If he lets himself be taken alive, that is.
Welcome back to Gamora. I know you're good for it, but you're still gonna have to leave your weapons.
Hey, what can I do for you? Of course, after all you... Bye.
Hey there, sugar. I'm Dazzle. What can I do for you? Or to you? You're so Yeah, he used to come around here a lot. He used to go on and on about water and the farms east of the Strip. He was talking to one of the farmers named... Boring as hell, but it was his money and his time. Well now, that's unusual. Normally no one cares enough to ask. I can remember her face, but not her name. More than I can remember of my daddy, I guess. As bad as it can be some days in here. It's...
The maze is doing well.
Howdy. Something... Yes. He said he was looking into the water shortage, but I haven't heard back. White was talking to me about computer stuff and water delivery schedules through the pipes, but the last person I saw him talking to was Lieutenant Romanowski. Sure do. Came from the hub on account of the Thaler Act. Farming's decent work, but the whole thing's a bump. Something the politicians back in Shady Sands came up with. They pay us to move here and farm the land. They even protect the fields. Bad soil and ration water. It's to be expected around here. But the rationing's off. Worst part is NCR won't admit it. Pretty hard to meet their crop quotas with 20% less water than we're supposed to be getting. Not that OSI cares about any of this. They're part of the deal, the Thaler Act. We work the fields while they protect the crops and the water. A lot of folks come to New Vegas and lose everything in free side of the Strip. They get hungry, desperate, and try to take our hard work. Much as I sympathize, their theft would put me in a bad spot. I got a crop quota to beat. Everything I can. Farmers out here don't have the luxury of being picky. I get by mostly on maize and tobacco.
I'm not a recruitment officer. You want to join the Army? I'm sure someone at McCarran... Corporal White is currently solving the mystery of the Great Water Shortage. Tried to convince me he went over to West Side to talk to Tom Anderson. Anderson's a follower of the apocalypse. I really don't see the connection. They're based out of the old fort in Freeside. They supposedly helped the NCR out at some point, but they know stuff about tech and medicine and usually help out anybody who asks. Haven't seen him. Serves him right if the NCR declares a AWOL. He's a glory hound, always looking for a way to get promoted to Ranger. Thinks he's too good. The Office of Science and Industry has carefully calculated the amount of water needed. Besides, most of these crops look fine to me. If the farmers can't handle the job, if there really is a problem, they can take it up with Lieutenant Boyd at McCarran. Impressive, aren't they? You don't see anything like this outside of NCR territory, that's for sure. We get the water, clean water, pumped in from Lake Mead. If you follow the big pipes, they'll take you all the way to the lake. A lot of the crops grown here support the various NCR camps in the region. McCarran, Goff, and Forlorn Hope, to name a few. We can't have Wastelanders popping in here for a free meal, so my squad and I are assigned to keep things from going to hell. Carry on.
Found you.
Tom Anderson, can I help you? No one by that name has come here, I'm afraid. You must have heard wrong. Fair enough. Since you seem to have pieced it together, I killed Corporal White to protect Westside self-reliance. It was rash. We don't have money to pay for the water, so I rigged a pump station to divert water to the local cisterns. That's not a bargain I can accept. Westside to... I'll surrender on one condition. You protect Westside's secret. Without that water, this community won't survive long. I'll say that White and I had a falling out over a woman. 10% of the co-op's profits. $20% it is. Etienne won't like it. I'll turn myself in.
He's got more resources than Hey, you got a second?
The Brotherhood is failing. I've always known that. If we don't change course, we're going to fall apart, or fade away. But until recently, I haven't understood where we went wrong, or how to fix it. I think I need to go home. Great! Thanks! Thank you! I'll encourage people to name their non-ugly children after me. Seriously.
Hi there. Welcome to the West Side Co-op. I'm Clayton Etienne. Oh, that, yeah. Anderson filled me in on the details. Just let me know when you'd like your order to... Yeah, it just came... It might not look like much, but it's what... We started it a few years ago. I admit we had a lot of trouble at first, but eventually we got some help from Tom Anderson with the followers. We're finally to the point where the co-op members can start making money from sales instead of just breaking even.
Hey.
You're back. I've already talked to Anderson, actually. Came in, confessed, and gave... First time I've ever seen anything like that. It was like you'd done him some huge favor. I gotta hand it to you. This Dazzle must be some girl. But you! I owe you for this. You saved me a lot of work. And I'm sure... The MPs keep a bunch of junk around that's confiscated off of people who decide to screw with us. I haven't really sorted through it, but go... We keep it in a trunk across the hall, by the prison cells.
Good to see you again. I'm with the followers of the apocalypse, and I help. The soil and the hot, dry environment don't make it. We've even got our own. I don't go looking for fights with them, but they don't have the bottom line for NCR is productivity and growth. Politicians back in Shady Sands are completely detached from the people.
I'd like a large atomic shake and a double Brahmin burger. And easy on the agave sauce this time.
We gave you a password, Veronica. It's for your safety.
I know where you live, Ramos. Open up.
For heaven's sake. Opening up. Welcome back, Veronica. Listen up. I'm in charge of security around here, and I can't... But since you came in with Veronica, I'm inclined to cut you a little slack. Just behave yourself, and we won't have any problems, okay? Oh, and the Elder's going to want to talk to you. He's on the 2nd level. Just take a right once you get down there. My office is right here in case you need anything. Just ask for Ramos. How may I assist?
Hello, Veronica. How goes your mission?
We'll know in a second. I wanted to talk to you.
Veronica, tell me this isn't about...
Yes, goddammit, it is. But you're gonna hear me out this time.
We've been through this.
The things I've seen now, other groups succeeding where we fail, it's not too late for us.
We've outlasted the end of the world. We'll outlast these upstarts.
Waiting in a hole for everyone else to die.
If we must.
This is a dead end for us.
I see no evidence of that. Nor do I see anyone out there with a solution to our problems.
How could you? You're too scared to look. Let's go. We're wasting our time.
When Paladin Ramos informed me that Veronica was approaching with an outsider in tow. After giving the matter some thought, however, I've decided that an outsider could be of use to me right now. However, I will not force you to help us. Should you refuse, you will be allowed to leave here, though you'd remain Veronica's responsibility. What do you say, outsider? Then allow me to explain our situation. This bunker is currently locked down, allowing no entry or exit, with you being one of the few exceptions. In exceptional cases, teams are sent out to investigate sites or retrieve materials deemed too important to ignore. 3 such teams have gone missing recently, and the news of their disappearance has not yet been widely spread to avoid undue concern. In order to maintain the peace and adhere to the strictures of the lockdown, I need to send someone else to discover... I'm glad I can count on you. Oh, and one other thing. The shielding of the bunker prevents us from actively tracking them, but their positions should our worst fears become realized, please bring back all I've given the order that you be given access to some of the equipment our scouts and patrols have... You won't be allowed to purchase any prohibited equipment, but hopefully some of what's available...
I'd slap him around, but he stood at my parents' wedding. Plus, he used to make excuses to get me out of my punishment when I'd slept through head scribe Taggart's lectures. Figure I owe him for that. He means well. I'm not giving up. He wants evidence, but he'll never listen unless I hold the proof. He's a stubborn old man, but when it comes down to it, he's got our back. If he sees some indisputable sign we're on the wrong course... That's my question to the Elder. All these years, the brother... To keep it out of people's hands? That clearly hasn't worked. To defend ourselves? We can't compete with the NCR's numbers, or the Legions. We're fighting a war for a lost cause. If we're gonna survive, we have to find a role in society, attract new members. Look at the followers of the Apocalypse. They use their expertise to improve people's lives. They train them to be self-sufficient. That expertise cultivates respect and gratitude, spreads their ideal. But they don't know a fraction of what we know. If we took on their role, we could stand up to anyone. We wouldn't have to hide. I don't know. We need something that shows the Brotherhood will fail, or that it can do... The only thing that gets its attention is technology. Maybe Father Elijah had the right idea. Our elder before McNamara, he had a nose for recovering lost technology. He'd send scribes out into the desert chasing whatever leads he found. There were a few he only trusted me with. I can think of at least one that'd prove my point, if it still exists. There's a comm terminal not too far from here I'd use to access messages from him. If we go there, I can pull up his research on it. I'm with you. Being around here isn't the same anymore.
So, you're the outsider that's been given leave to wander around freely. Name's Hardin. I'm the head paladin of this chapter, and I think we might be able to help. I don't know what the Elder talked to you about, but I can tell you. Are you willing to listen to what... As you may have already heard, this entire base is under a state of lock. Most of the chapter has been sealed in here for years, and those few who were outside when the lockdown was initiated, morale has plummeted as time has gone by, and many of our current paladins haven't seen combat outside of training simulations, and all because of the Elder's explicit order that no one be allowed in or out. Veronica's a special case. She handles the procurement of supplies. If we didn't let her... If the Elder could manage it, he'd shut them out as well, and all in the name of security. I half expected you to say that. In which case, I'll continue. Should you continue dealing with the Elder and find yourself beginning to see my...
What is this? Veronica brings an outsider into our home? The two of you may have the Elder fooled, but Veronica has always twisted the Founder's principles to her own ends.
Veronica.
Let's see what we've got here. Okay, yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. The pulse gun. Although, maybe the rangefinder could work too. And it looks like... electromagnetic weapon from before the Great War. Experiment. But they were building it as a countermeasure to power armor, which they feared the Chinese were developing. Supposedly a prototype was being housed at Nellis. Imagine what it could do to the Brotherhood. We'd be on equal footing with any idiot with a gun. More or less. Supposedly it's a vegetation enhancer. NCR has a science branch headquartered at McCarran Airport. Guess they found something. Guess somebody wasn't very good at keeping secrets either. We'd never pursue it because it's not a weapon, but self-sufficiency is fundamental to us. If it works, they'd see the value of an alternate course. It's a targeting device for some kind of doomsday weapon based at Helios 1. It was lost sometime after the war. We held Helios 1 for a time. Lost a lot of people defending it. Too many. All for this weapon they never got working. If it turns out to be a dud, it'd show how flawed our goals have been. Father Elijah said he thinks a scavenger might have sold it on the strip. They defended Helios like it was their last stand. Didn't even know if there was anything worth defending. Even if it did work, it'd be under NCR control now. So it'd either prove our goals are wrong, or there's a pawn shop in Outer Vegas we could check, and I've heard of a gift shop in the Strip that deals in pre-war and... Yeah, maybe they'll think twice about engaging the NCR if they know one of those could be floating around. The notes say to look around Nellis Air Force Base. He suggests going through filing cabinets and computers in the commanding officer's quarters. Okay, what better way to persuade them than to give them a taste of what they stand to gain, right? Maybe the best place... They defended... I like...
Watch out.
If you're down on your luck and need some caps, I'd buy just about anything. Antique rangefinder. Maybe an antique. I'll tell you something. Good luck finding that thing. My grandfather.
Also, rumors have surfaced that Top's hotel owner Benny has taken yet another unexpected leave of absence. We spoke to his right-hand man, Swank.
Do I seem worried to you, baby? Sometimes a cat just needs room to swing. He'll be back. Sure as a conga drum's got a groovy beat.
Well, that's all I have for you. This is Mr. New Vegas wishing you...
Have you seen that tower on the strip all lit up?
We know the pain that numbers can bring us. Well, so does Guy Mitchell, who's got heartaches by the number.
Hi, I'm... Yeah, and you gotta dig what I did with it. I see. Mr. House has everything to do with Vault 21. I almost went ape. So we convinced him. Okay, Sheldon and I, right? We convinced... I don't know, maybe he didn't want any... My vault runs deep and wide. It's filled... What gives him the right to screw us with the royal shaft anyway? So he saved New Vegas. Woohoo! Now... I have all sorts of things. Wow, I wish I had more of them. I sold it to a man not too long ago. Real twitchy, nervous sort of guy. Had a funny collar on. I wanted to ask him about it, but I figured... Well, it was metal and kind of thick. At first I thought he didn't look comfortable. He kept reaching up like he was... No, but I know where he was going. He asked me if I knew of any place where he could hide out for a while. Wanted somewhere with concrete. But I guess he spent all his money on the rangefinder because he said it... I said I didn't know about anything like that around here, but if he wanted to live for free, a lot of people do that. I know there's a concrete building there across from Mick and Ralph's. Went up there one time to try and, you know, meet my neighbors in the biz. Oh, he was pretty average, I'd say. Average high.
Huh? Kids. Watch out!
Reach for the sky, mister. This is the best gun in the whole game. Oh man, that's still a lot of money.
The safety was on. Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress? You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Hey there.
Been doing a lot of good work?
Well, of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect as the day we met. More news for you. The influx of displaced residents to the refugee camp at Bitter Springs has caused a strain on rations there. NCR officials are asking for donations. Also in the headlines, rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the northwest. If you should find it, do not repeat.
Veronica, I hope...
I brought you a present. This disc has secrets to breeding plants that can thrive in the wasteland.
High Elder Maxon didn't found us to be botanists, Veronica.
Think about it. No more trading guns for food. Total self-sufficiency. It's what we always wanted.
This won't get us Hoover Dam.
Yes, it will. If we feed people, they'll support us. They'll join us.
What does the Codex say?
A bunch of close-minded bullshit.
We do not help them or let them in.
But...
we keep knowledge they must never have.
give it a chance. For me. I can't stay here and watch us waste away.
I'm sorry.
We'll die out.
I know.
Come on. I can't listen to this anymore.
Found the missing patrols? It's a protective measure that was... It was decided that we would stay quiet for a time, heal the wound. However, after we had fully recuperated, our first scouting measures showed that there are now more than 5 times the number of NCR troops in the area as when we fought them. And we have half the... And so the lockdown has been extended. We have some personnel that are allowed to travel on the surface. They trade... We make sure that they only enter or leave the bunker while the sands... That is this base's defensive system. It serves as... We use it to hide our patrols and supply runners, though we still send such out at night to be extra safe.
He wouldn't listen. The truth was right. No. Our case wouldn't be any stronger. I just didn't expect that. How can I help them when... I don't know if I can work with the followers of the apocalypse. Or I can stay here with the people I care about and do... Not even a hint, huh? I guess I'll stay. If I left, there wouldn't be any coming back. Things are gonna get harder for the Brotherhood before they get easier. Let's get going. I'd like... See you around.
We heard Veronica talking with the Elder. We won't stand for this. She'd be doing a greater service by carrying out her duties. This had better be the last time.
God. I should get used to this, I guess. People get desperate. I don't think it's ever going to be the same for me in there. Knowing no matter what I do, but they're all I have. Yeah. I've got the rest of my life to help them out. I could spare... No, I think it is. I have to be resolved about this. If I waver, they need me.